Regarding your question on this topic, what I can say is that you are right. That means on operational risk, there is a big problem of taxonomy, so of giving to the event and its characteristic the right and shared definition. One of the main activities that SAS started on this topic was to invest in master data management in order to create an enterprise-wide convention, business convention of the meaning of data. So once you have built this, you have qualified and you have done a good data quality on your data, you can start to introduce business rules that helps you to identify those that are operational risks since the beginning, because you can identify this investment on master data management and on data governance is an investment that it can be exploited in many activities, from the one you mentioned, the operational risk, but also on the other. Just to give an example, on social media analysis, there is a specific solution that helps you to do text analysis. That means you can identify within a clear classification categories the taxonomy of the words that are running on the web, on blogs, and you can understand if the market is giving a positive or negative feedback to your product, to competitor, to be more aware of which is your power or your weakness. So invest in master data management and data quality is a good way to address since the beginning this argument. You know, operational risk comes later after credit risk management, after market risk management. So the investment is not have been too big like the previous one. This is my talk about.
Okay.
So if I can continue with just to introduce the topics of my intervention is SAS and the Crystal System Empowering Solvency II. Okay, after Mr. Jim Goodnight's short video in which he introduced the last developed product of SAS Visual Analytics, why to introduce this argument, this session with SAS Visual Analytics? Because high performance analytics will change the paradigm of how we think about risk analysis too, because we never imagined that you can online and dynamically create a hierarchy in 1 billion of real data. This is a real change in this industry. But we will introduce you Crystal System. Why Crystal System and SAS at FEAR? Because in 2013, SAS and Crystal System joined in a partnership. Why they joined in a partnership? Because they want and they start the creation of a SAS hub in Bucharest. So the objective is to give to the Italy and the East Europe region the capability to have an hub near shore that can support their activities. Doing this, Crystal System hired the professionals, already expert in SAS, moved from internal department people to this new unit, and started to work with the SAS in customer projects. The intention is to give you support in all the SAS solutions. One of these is SAS risk management for insurance, and then this is the SAS answer to the solvency. To doing this and to give more awareness to the market, we started this year with ASE, a Business Intelligence Academy. 3 months of training for something like 300 ASE students in economics with Cybernetica, with Statistica and Informatica. Started the 300 students now are 115 that this week we will have the examination after 3 months of study. And soon this will be part of the same team, a quota of it, of Crystal SAS near Shore Hub. We organized in ASE this May, 15 May, a SAS seminar on Solvency II, where many of your colleagues from insurance attended. Mr. Thorsten Hein from SAS Competence Center in Europe and the Asian Pacifica showed a full presentation of SAS capability in addressing solvency regulation and then the end-to-end infrastructure. Before moving to SAS end-to-end infrastructure, just a few other words on Crystal System. Crystal System, many of you doesn't know, because I did some query before during lunchtime, was founded in 2001 with the objective to give nearshore support to Crystal Italy and to Italy customer and Germany customer mainly. After this initial activity in the last 12 years, we start as SAP, ABAP, let me say, IT providers. We moved in the business intelligence and then in web technologies. And with ASE and also with ASEM in Moldavia, because we have also a branch in Chisinau, we organize a lot of training class because we have the possibility to access to ASE premises and to own a complete training on different technology. We begin from SAP and now we are continuing with SAS. Just a few figures on Crystal System. In 2013, we have something like 230 people here in Trajan Popovici 110. And we made a turnover of 5.5 million euro. Then let's talk about SAS end-to-end infrastructure. The picture is a little bit big, but you can clearly identify 3 main verticals: data management, risk quantification and reporting, and 1 layer of auditability. This is the overall picture that covers end-to-end the flow of processes in risk management for insurance. SAS has already a similar solution for risk management for banking, and now also on the risk management for enterprise that are like telco, utilities, and other that they call enterprise risk management. Regarding data management, on data management, SAS identified 2 main topics. One is data integration, and the other is data quality. Data integration, it is required to collect data from your source systems, to import this data into the SAS environment, to clean them, to apply the agreed business rule for quality, and then to map this data on a logical insurance data model. It's a big investment that SAS did on banking and insurance context to create what is called detailed data store, that is a logical data model for financial institution. Once you have populated and you have applied the quality rules in order to have a clean data, you have the historical solvency data to be populated into the next step. Next step, that is the risk quantification. As per solvency regulation, SAS identify all the risk type that you have to calculate within the different business lines of insurance, and then you have to aggregate them at a higher stage in order to adjust and to calculate what is the solvency capital ratio. once you have calculated your solvency capital ratio, the results of this calculation are populated into another repository that is called Risk Repository for Reporting, RRR. This is a base that has the same naming convention of the detailed data store, so you have the same meaning of word, the same classification of word between the source data you mapped and the reporting that you are obliged to do against external reporting or internal reporting. Just a few words on this. The approach that SAS suggests when has to face a solvency project with customer is the following. If you have no internal model, you can use a standard model that is within the solution, and within the solution there is the standard model and the mandatory reporting for solvency, starting for quantitative reporting templates and other reporting that are required by authorities. And you can develop your internal reporting. If you already have an internal software, internal model already implied, SAS can invoke your internal model. Then the result of this model will be remapped on the risk repository, and on this you can profit of the already available template for reporting. If you want to implement an internal model, we can support you in this task by creating your own internal model for solvency capital ratio calculation. Why SAS? SAS is now 40 years that is on the market and is focused on analytics. In the last 20 years, started a big activity on the risk management, started mainly in banks. That was the first investment they did. This was very appreciated, and now most of banks has SAS platform in order to produce all the Basel activities. When I say all, means the data extraction, the enterprise mining to identify the model, to monitor the model during the production, to reverse the model in the lab and do tuning to calibrate the model efficiency, and other instruments that you can use, like SAS risk dimensions for those that have to do pricing in financial instrument portfolio, simple or very complex one, in order to calculate VAR and component VAR of a portfolio risk. Why SAS? SAS because it has an industry-focused logical model. That's important. It's a very wide data representation of information that are needed in solvency and Basel, and we know that for life especially, the terms are equivalent and the tools are often the same in terms of to calculate the variance and convariance. Why SAS? SAS can accelerate your possibility to address a challenge like solvency in short time, has experience and has a capability to support you in this journey. Crystal System and SAS are ready to support you and to be you ready for the maturity date of the 1st January 2016. That is very tough activity.